Old Man Moore. I've already told you! I'm not leaving my home! The old man slams his fist together for emphasis, glaring at you with a startled brow. Oh, you aren't those purple imbeciles? Sorry, didn't mean to yell. Eyesight isn't what it used to be. Name's Moore. I've been here since old King Archon claimed the valley as part of his own. You were Kyros, right? He jabs a finger at you with a question. And Kyros brings peace, right? Well, I surrender. Now leave my home in my privacy. I suggest you cooperate with their demands. Settle down, son. I've been here on my lonesome just fine. I've endured heat, waves, breath fever, flooding. I'm not worried by children at play. Just hope none of you kids drown in the river. That'd make your parents sad. I doubt you'd enjoy quartering any Scarlet Chorus if you stayed. Settlement is becoming a garrison. See if I can... A garrison? Thought there was just some little pissing match. If soldiers are marching in... Moore shakes his head, grumbling, a half-string of half-formed words before looking at you with a pained expression. Last thing I need's for good-for-nothing soldiers demanding room and lodging from this one hospitable local. No peace at all. Fine, I'll gather my things. Best be off before the crossing becomes a war camp. Study door has been locked, but it doesn't appear to have been barred on the other side. No, I'm not a looter. Well, I am a looter, but I'm not someone who loots from a guy who's clearly just standing right there. It's illegal! Alright, I think that's basically everything, so we may as well head on. Actually, let's save it first! Now we can move on. Back, I think, to the disfavored camp. Cool. Athletic skill can be used to intimidate characters in conversations. Cool. Received a missive from Takas Ari. Oh. Oh. May the edict claim your worthless life. Archive. We're not completely without our senses. We knew Kyros would issue an edict on our valley. Perhaps the Overlord has a sick sense of humour, but I can assure you I laughed when I learned the death sentence doomed the Oathbreaker and Puppet equally. I had such low expectations for the servant of the so-called Archon of Justice. Tunon seems more like a passive stooge that sits on the throne to legitimise the carnage and plunder of the others Archons, the fate of prosperity that lets Kyros claim one thing while being another. I would have hoped you actually did serve justice, the notion, not the Archon, but your actions have said otherwise. At least I can thank you for proving my cynicism entirely warranted. If you survive this upcoming slaughter, bear witness that I, Takasari of the Vendrian Guard, do take responsibility for the actions of my crew. Should my warriors come before the court's axe, tell Tunon they were starving, desperate and evilly manipulated into a struggle that was mine, not theirs. Sell this lie as well as you would sell the lies of the Overlord. So you come in, you start insulting me, and then ask me to spare the lives of your warriors. They really hate me. Wrath is going up rather a lot. Now, my Lord skill's 51. That was enough to get the ranged heal spell. Right? No, 60. Ah, without the extra range. There we go. I think I might take it instead of False Pit. Because we have two people that can cast that already. Yeah. Still 1 point away from being able to cast that. Damn it! Okay.
Let's be off.
Famebinder. The Archons are in the war tent. Cool. Oh yeah, I need to go and talk to this dude. And say I found your iron stuff. Isotanis. Have you found the iron yet? My Satanist gives you a look full of expectation. I thought not. I appreciate the update all the same, Fatebinder. I did find it, though. Oh. Hang on. Sorry, I thought I'd found this already, so I'm going back to my save. Because I don't want to spend extra time travelling if I don't need to. Especially you kept on saying you found this stuff. This has clearly got the notches on it. Yeah, this is ironwork. And the reason I'm reloading the save is because there is a time limit. And I don't particularly want to wind down that clock unnecessarily. Which is also why I'm not taking many rests. Although I quite like that everything seems to be on cooldown, so you don't need to rest as often. There are 1 or 2 spells which are the exception, but not that many. Oh, I know where they are. They are in that guy's house. Because it was saying that these chests have been moved from somewhere nearby, and it's clearly this house. Creates a small series of notches in the top left corner of each box, and scuffs around the ground suggest they were dragged from the nearby home. And I doubt it's this one. Sorry, old man, but you're the thief now. So by the right of Kyros, I'm finding the stolen goods. There is a list, an old crumpled paper, where various simple items for crafting and repair are crossed out. Most food items remain. Forge bound iron ingots. The old man barges in through the door behind you. You motherless whoremonger! He attempts to usher you away with the pointed end of his walking stick. Get out! I found the forge bound iron in one of these barrels. You have a great deal to explain, old man. The old man points his walking stick in your face. It's always the young pushing the old. I had no choice in the matter. Strange men appeared here a fortnight ago. They claim to be supporters of the Avenging Guard, but I've never seen them before. He stumps his foot in a fit. I had no choice! These so-called freedom fighters threatened my life if I didn't complain. Then Matrani showed up for the iron? Not exactly. She stumbled upon it just like you did when she was helping fortify the village for an attack like this. She was just as surprised, but she happily took it. Villagers forcing you to help the Avenging Guard. That sounds suspicious. Have you been listening to a damn thing I've been saying, or do you take shit for your ears? His face twitches and spittle lands on you. That's exactly what I'm saying. I don't want any part of this foolish war. Seems like stubborn ignorance may have saved you. I'm taking the iron. You may stay. Thank you, Fatebinder. Ooh, light bronze boots. Nope. And lesser sigil of strength. Eh? So let's have a look at that. In here. And then sigils. Oh, there's only the one. Give it to me. Law 25. Scroll contains some. Yeah, read that already. Alright, let's have a look. Oh, it's a new accent. Which does what? Provides an increase to the spell's strength, increasing the potency of most existing effects. Interesting. So if we went with actually, if we went with you, and then added intensity, update, and intensity, that costs 60, so we can't do that. We could reduce the range of it. No, I quite like the range. We can definitely up the intensity of that one. Oh, apparently we can't. We can increase the range though. This is not about range. I got rid of this one and replaced it with... Oh, that was later. So we need the ranged one, which is that one, which is 50 already. Assign that there. Okay. Then your spells. More intensity costs 70. Yeah, you can't cast that yet. Can't modify that one. False pit. It's always plus 20, right? And yeah, so we can't do that one. Plus 40. No. Plus 35. Yes. Plus 55. Update. 30 becomes 55. No. 40 becomes 60. No. Well, we could reduce the range, but I quite like that this one has extra range. And this uses control illusions.
Let's be off.
Okay. So now are you saying that we have actually found the damn thing? Yes. Forge-bound iron. Matabi Sybil was attempting to arm the soldiers with the iron shipment the settlers found washed ashore. We wish to find the remaining iron side of one of the settlers' homes, return to the disfavoured camp, and tell them the news. Alright then. Actually, quicker go here. Off we go. Doop-de-loop-de-loop-de-doo. Let's save it. Doop-de-loop-de-loop-de-doo. Now we can go to the disfavored camp. And now we can go and have a word with the blacksmith and tell him we found your stuff. Here it is. Good thing the Oathbreakers didn't get their hands on much. I can't tell you what it means to have this back in our hands. I'll make sure to tell my superior what we've done for the Legion. Need something else? Farewell. Alright, good stuff. Next we needed to go into the Archon. Let's speak to you, see if you have anything else for me. Welcome back, Fake Binder. Nothing. Alright. Save again in case we screw up. Let's have a word with the Archons.
How can we trust your rabble not to turn at this last moment? How many of your conscripts have family bonds to the Vendrian Guard? It is decided. The disfavored will take the vanguard of the assault. It is the only way to assure success before the edict comes to pass.
Graven Ash's roar pulses your eardrums, his face reddening as he yells.
Oh, you're so young. We can forgive you for being stupid. Without your Archon of Stone to bring down those walls, you're out of your element. Only the chorus has the numbers required to swarm the walls from all sides. We will lead the vanguard of this battle.
The best the chorus could accomplish would be leaving a ramp-shaped pile of corpses propped up against the walls for my warriors to use. Their fortifications are not a concern. Even understaffed, my Earthshakers could breach the masonry in short order.
Another brilliant idea! Can's cult is, we're sure, every bit as trustworthy and sane as the late Archon of Stone himself. You did notice the spire at the center of the citadel? Hard to miss it, being only the tallest thing on the horizon and such. Certainly your Earth mages won't do anything stupid like, say, breaking the spire's foundation? What could possibly go wrong?
I trust them more than I trust your circus of rapists, sellswords, and turncoat tearsmen.
Archon Ash turns his head and, seeing you in the tent, relaxes his posture.
Tunon's Fatebinder has arrived.
The war tent falls silent, and all eyes turn on you expectantly. Our operations in Echo Core Crossing and Tripnettle Wilderness were successful. Why aren't you two marching on Ascension Hill?
Nothing would please us more than to be done with this wretched valley. Perhaps if we had more support from the disfavored, and from the court.
Now that we are all assembled, I want reports. The Scarlet Chorus was going to resolve the Oathbreaker presence in the Outer Valley. What became of that?
Yes, what did become of that? We should know already, yet we do not. If we are not mistaken, the Fatebinder played a pivotal role in this operation. Fifth Eye, shed light on this baffling question.
The Fatebinder did indeed assist the chorus, in a fashion. The Oathbreakers were cut down, but the Fatebinder's wrath spared none, and Captain Pelox Florian was not taken alive, much to our disappointment. The Fatebinder seems to have applied disfavored justice to Florian. Such a waste.
And look what showing them mercy has done for us. My scouts report seeing chorus thugs fleeing your camp, defecting back to the enemy. They are abusing your mercy, and you either don't notice or don't care. The former is negligence, the latter is treachery.
I disagree. He would have made a perfect captive, but he was a raging zealot with a death wish. Capture wasn't an option.
Iron Marshal, I understand we've established a foothold across the Mittani. Report.
Securing the Mittani was a gruesome affair. An ancient of the School of Tide still lives, and the river was turned against us. Despite our losses, the day ended in success at Echo Core Crossing, though victory came at great cost. When it came time to secure the nearby Echo 4 village, there was a distressing discovery. The villagers had been stashing iron weaponry, no doubt stolen from our supply lines. Commander Antio wished to burn the village, but the chorus disagreed, and the Fatebinder backed their claim. A few of them got away, but their leader, Captain Matrani Sybil, did not. Our spies tell us she was the one of the founding members of the insurrection. Her death will no doubt dishearten the Oathbreakers.
One less noble scion of Apex with delusions of relevance. Good riddance.
Have we forgotten why we marched south in the first place? Are we to rule over a sea of corpses? Have you any idea how difficult it is to tax dead people? Your treatment of the locals is short-sighted. We alone follow the commandments of the Overlord.
As if to emphasize his words with a conductor's wand, the voices of Nerat flourishes his jeweled scepter in the air. I like the voice of Nerat. It's the voice that just makes me feel like they're the ones to trust. I swear it's the Joker. I was thinking about this, like, this sounds really familiar. I wouldn't be surprised if it is actually Mark Hamill voicing the voices. It sounds like him. We can safely assume Kyros wants some bloodshed, otherwise why send the disfavored? My intent was to honour the chorus and bring you a captive, but it would have taken a gang of warriors with nets to take her alive. Oh, so Kyros commanded you to be insufferable ass every turn. If so, good job. Yeah, we can safely assume Kyros wanted some bloodshed, otherwise why send the disfavored?
Sophistry becomes you, Fatebinder. But we think the disfavored was sent to learn from our example. What other reason would the Overlord have for slowing us down with such a burdensome ally? Kyros' Day of Swords approaches, and our allies in the disfavored and the court refuse to work with us. There is clearly only one reason for this. Graven Ash and Tunon have allied against us. You conspire to rob us of our deserved glory!
Emerald-coloured tails appear in the air as the Archon madly swings his scepter, gesticulating with growing rage. Yeah, I'd like to order them, but they're Archons and I'm not, so that probably wouldn't work. I could remain silent and just see what they say to each other. Conspiracy, you're the one who's acted the fool this whole time. Yeah, I'm not accusing them of that. Enough bickering, we're running out of time to take Ascension Hall. That's probably the best.
Fatebinder is right. Our survival is at stake. All that matters is taking Ascension Hall. Iron Marshal, ready our troops. Fifth Eye, tell your gangs to cover our flanks.
You will do as we order. You are not to take orders from this addled ponce.
Then the impasse is clear. We both wish for the honor of leading this final assault on the Vendrian Guard. Since Tunon is not here to select the rightful bearer of this honor, we must turn to the Archon's proxy.
With whom do you stand?
Well, obviously I'd like to say the march on the Vendrian Citadel together or not at all. But that just feels like it's a trap. The other two are just so blunt in comparison. I'm gonna go with my gut.
You test my patience, Fatebinder.
Thought so.
We did not ask for a weak compromise that leaves all parties unsatisfied. Whom do you support? Are you going to let the Scarlet Chorus traitors have their way? Or will you stand by Kyros' true disciples, the disfavored?
Yeah.
You are,
disfavored.
as I knew you would. You have made the right choice. The disfavored have stood at the forefront of battle since the first days of the war. And now, we have the honor of winning this final battle.
Graven Ash salutes you, his fist striking his breastplate with a thunderous clatter.
Our beloved chorus! We have too many lives to protect. We can't allow your foolish decision to destroy us all!
A brilliant emerald green radiates from the Archon, and the chatter of a busy marketplace seems to fill the tent. The scepter he normally holds up as a playful prop is now clutched as a bludgeon, ready to strike.
You would dare harm me and our guest from the court?
The air crackles with electricity as Graven Ash lifts his maul to strike. Yeah, that was going to end well.
By Kyros' word, this means war! How did it come to this?
He roused to consciousness to the sight of Graven Ash swatting his hand towards the thinning green mist where the voices of Narat once stood moments ago. We'll have to take Ascension Hall without Chorus's help.
Yes, and instead of having false allies on our side, at least we can march on the Citadel knowing full well who is friend and foe. And it goes without saying, the disfavored needs you now for this glorious battle. Please speak with the Iron Marshal. She will give you the specifics of our plan. Just old soldier reflexes. Couldn't be sure if it was trying a simple illusion or a bolt of fire. Either way, needed to be sure my guests didn't perish in my war tent. Wouldn't be able to live that one down.
Yeah, they're both pretty cool, but I like
Secrets
him.
left behind one of his spies. Perhaps we should send her back to her master in pieces.
Graven Ash narrows his eyes and points a finger at Verse. Barrack's armor makes a discordant sound of iron bending under pressure. Everyone assembled in the room looks at him.
Something to say, Barrack?
Ash passes his stone shield a confused look.
Nothing at present, Archon. Forgive the interruption.
Barrack looks at you with a vague hope of his otherwise impersonal stare. Verse with me, I'm surprised you're still here. Let Verse go, save your fury for the battlefield. No, I'm going to say Verse with me. She's proven her worth.
You would harbor the Archon's henchmen in your company? This is aiding and abetting the voices of Narat. I cannot stand for it.
She can't tell us about the Scarlet Chorus or the voices of Narat. She's dead.
You would twist her loyalties from the chorus to yourself? A fool's hope if ever I heard one. Safer to leave her hanging by a gibbet or rotting in the pillory for the Legion's amusement. But I can tell that you won't be swayed. You are playing a dangerous game, Binder. If you wish to hold a venomous serpent so close, I will allow you your own self-destruction. Now leave me. When you are ready to join the assault, speak to the Iron Marshal.
Alright then. Yeah, I knew from reviews that the choice between the two sides comes pretty early. That was one of the negatives about the game. Because it would be interesting to constantly be juggling the two sides against each other for longer. But so it goes. Alright, and she leveled up. Huzzah. Okay, so... What do we need you to do? I think probably some more might, so you're just doing more damage. Yeah. And then we'll continue with Skirmisher. Evasive. When superior to power... When superior to parry, use dodge skill to avoid incoming melee attacks. Also gains a bonus to defense against disengagement attacks. Gain immunity to burning and bleeding afflictions. When Verse is in the party, all members gain a bonus experience to dual wield, bows and athletics skill. Increase accuracy and removes the recovery penalty incurred after changing weapon sets. I kind of like the idea of evasive. What is the difference between your dodge at 80 and your parry at 65? But now I just know that I only need to train up dodge instead of parry. So we'll do that. Although I did spend a whole bunch of money training up a parry. Oh well, I didn't know. So yeah, we're going to go with evasive for you, because you clearly need to have a little bit more defensiveness, because you kind of take a lot of damage otherwise. Let's go and have a word with the blacksmith. See if you've got some more stuffs for me. It warms my heart to arm and armour our soldiers in only the finest. He nods with pride. Need something else? Might see your wares, please. More particularly, I want to sell you my junk. Let's do it by this. All of those, and then armour. Sell you that, sell you all of these, because I don't think I need any of them. What's that? Light bronze boots. Armory. No. Recovery is way too slow. And then yes, broken items. Can definitely sell you all of those, and I assume the gems as well. Yeah. Or we could just keep them for money's sake. Hey, Sunnif. Sunnif, I guess. Yeah, we'll sell it all. Fine. Don't think there's any reason to keep it. So this gets us 47 bronze bars? Bronze rings. So copper, bronze, iron, camping things. Okay. Are there any items here that we want from you? Oh, I see. The ones with a box of fine items. Oathbound. Aha. Yeah, recovery is really slow. Oathbound dagger, for example, for you would probably be better. Loads more accuracy, lower DPS, lower recovery, though not as much as previous. Relatively expensive. I'm sure we'll find some better items. It's mostly the armor I was after. And I assume I can't upgrade his equipment. So no, that'll do. We just have a whole ton of money now. We could go and get some more training with these two jokers. No, we can't, because they're not there. Just call you son. Okay. First time I'm playing this. Technically it's the second stream, but yes, the first time I'm playing through the game. So, pretty new. We should probably have a word with Verse after having
At your
broken
service,
her away.
Fatebinder. What do you need?
No, she doesn't actually want to say anything about it. Okay, never mind. What about Barak?
You look as if you have something on your mind. By all means. What can I do for you?
No. Landry? Nothing. Okay.